Hi. When people think about looking at their life and wanting to change things, think they're maybe not as happy as they can be, what do you think is the main thing that they do in order to turn things around? Are you thinking that they probably go out and read something? I think you're right. And I love that. That's an amazing way to get started. A great way to be looking at something, say, "Hey, that sounds like me. This person gets me," and I'm learning about myself, and that's absolutely fantastic. A great beginning. What I wouldn't want to have happen for you is what happens to a lot of people, and that's that they love that book and they say, "Wow, I know a little bit more about myself." And they sit back down on the couch and they go and they get another book and another book and another book, and they are like the old days with Sigmund Freud, where they go to a therapist 5 times a week, and by the end of 20 years and maybe $50,000, they know themselves better than anybody. They have the greatest insight in the world, and they're still in the same place they were 20 years ago. They're miserable. They're not fulfilled. And I just don't want that for you. So in terms of if you find yourself that you've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reading, but not a lot of getting into action, this is what I would encourage you to do. Remember that it's very important to know about yourself, and that can happen only to a certain extent when you are reading about it or when you're watching a webinar or listening to podcasts, which are just so helpful. It's important to take the next step. If you want to make a big difference and really create a bigger life for yourself, it's really important for you to get some support around that. Someone that would hold you accountable, someone that actually knows you and can interact with you to find out what's going on with you specifically. Now, if you're one of the people that are fairly rare in this world, I believe, who has someone in their life already, whether it's a family member or a friend, who's just that really wise person who knows you really well, who you're really comfortable sharing everything with, and they are available to you to celebrate your victories, but also to give you some news that maybe isn't always so easy to hear, but you need to hear in order to figure out what's been holding you back so you can go out and have that more for yourself. That is absolutely wonderful if you have that person. Also, another huge thing that a person like that does is they hold you accountable. They say to you, "Hey, look, if you want to do this, I'll work with you, but I'm going to check in and make sure that you're in action doing the stuff that will lead you to what you want." If that is not the case for you, and that would make you in the majority of people, that's why my wish for you is that you, in order to get into action about really making some real stuff in your life, that things you've been wanting for a while, the other options, if you don't have that person, are to get a mentor of some form, hire a coach, so that you can get started, so that you can get started now for that. Now, that said, I want to share with you one of my favorite readings, the one that lights me up every time I read it, and I think it will for you too. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's by Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and it's called The Invitation. It's a wonderful short book, but what I want you to do is, if you're really interested in tapping into that feeling that I talk about a lot when I say, you know what, I want you to get excited about your life. I want you to get out of bed every day feeling like, yeah, today I got something going on that taps into me, just rocking it. That kind of experience. Take a look just at the first 3 pages of Oriah's The Invitation, or excuse me, I think it's the first 2 pages. That is something that I read about 10 years ago that just lit me on fire, and I want you to have that for you too. So get out there. First 2 pages alone, Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It's ORIAH, and you will find it. Take care.